So right now the GC8 is done, the GC8 is behind us, and I appreciate all the love that you guys showed me in that last video. Thank you so much. I want to get back to each and every one of the comments, but I'm not always able to, so I'm saying it now. Thanks again. But we're not focused on the GC8 Project Pepto, we're not focused on that. Right here, you can see 5.7 liter LS1. This is the motor, that's the ticket. American vibes and a JDM body. That's the new wave. And in this video, we're definitely gonna make some good progress.
And now, you're sitting on the couch watching TV and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over. You spend all day on the phone anyhow. Channel of YouTube. Welcome to Bodie Vision.
Hey, so what is up and welcome. Thank you so much for joining me. So today, in this video, what we have going on is I just wanna make progress. I wanna keep getting things off the GTO so that way we can essentially be done with this car. Front subframe needs to go out because, as you know or should know, we're gonna be using the subframe in the old Accord. And then I want to get the motor onto the subframe and essentially get it in the engine bay, figure out where I'm going to need to cut. The biggest obstacle is probably going to be the trans tunnel. I know that's all going to have to go. But before we can get anywhere near doing any of that stuff, I got to go ahead and get this stripped out. Got to get all the power steering lines out of here, everything, get it torn down, get it out of there, and then we'll see what's next. And also this header, it's kind of weird how this is, how it's interlaced in between the steering column. So I gotta drop the column, pull the header, and then eventually drop out that subframe, and then we'll see where else this goes. Now we have the subframe completely separated from everything else besides just the frame. Now there's these 4 bolts. Here's the tip of one, there's another one, and the last one is underneath the battery tray right here. So the idea is the subframe's got to drop, and then we got to build the Accord to look something like this, but currently the Accord comes up higher, so I'm not going to have to cut any material back. I'm going to have to build down in order to reach the subframe. And then once the subframe's in, the motor can go in. We're just going to use these mounts. I kind of went over this a little bit more in my last video, but either way, making good progress thus far. But right now I'm just going through and I want to take the shocks off just to make this thing a little bit easier to handle. Now I find either a design flaw or probably somebody put this together wrong. You see that bolt right there, how it's going through but it can't come out because the actual caliper bracket's in the way? If the nut was on that side and the bolt just came through right there on this side, then you could pull them out. But now that bracket's in the way and I got to take that apart, which is no big deal. I just think somebody assembled this wrong, whether it's from the factory or not. Who knows? Somebody did something wrong. Or maybe there's a reason why they did it. What do I know? Alright, so we got the subframe down to where it's at least kind of manageable to work with. Everything's stripped off. I even pulled off the rotors and everything. They're just sitting right over there. My Project Pepto looking really good. Now it's starting to rain. It's getting a little bit late. First thing tomorrow morning, we'll just go ahead and get this thing pressure washed, and then we'll see what's next. Keep this thing rolling, and maybe we'll get into tearing down the Accord. We'll just have to see. So we got the subframe looking really good. Now it'll be easy to handle. I'm not gonna get all dirty, and that's what I gotta do. I gotta try to keep everything as clean as possible because honestly it kind of drives me nuts to get my hands this dirty, but either way, that's just what we're doing. So I was kind of looking around, thinking about the next thing to do, thinking about what to pull off the GTO. I think the only next thing to do is to get the Accord kind of at the point that the GTO is at so we can start looking at where the subframe needs to go. That was the last time, probably the last time that this motor will ever run. I mean, it's pretty clapped out. I don't know if I could sell it. Maybe I can, but what I want to do next, before we lift the car, before we take the motor out, before we mess everything up, I want to make some kind of reference points to go exactly in line with where this center is, and then come up to here, because we need some kind of a reference to know where the GTO suspension should be. That looks good right there. So at this point, we've just been kind of chipping away at it, getting everything out of there. We got the axles out, the shift linkage done from the bottom, the exhaust. I like to get everything done from the bottom first, and then move up to the fluids up top. That way I'm not underneath dealing with all the fluids. But a car like this, where it was leaking oil, it was leaking power steering fluid, it was a mess either way. So now the only thing left to do is I want to pull the radiator out, and that's just over here and there, pull that right out. Then we got the mount right there. There's a mount right there, and then one in the back. I already got this mount out up top, and that's about it. So with this entire project of putting the LS1 into the 88 Accord, I wanted to be real detailed and everything, but something like this, just ripping the old motor out, is just ripping the old motor out. So let's just get it out of here at this point. So the motor's out. It was pretty straightforward. Came out pretty easily. So now before I start to figure out what exactly I need to get rid of, what I need to cut, what all I'm gonna have to do, what I wanna do first is just get this cleaned because it's a mess. Same thing with the subframe. I wanna clean it all off before I even start messing with it, because all the new parts that we start to put in, we wanna make sure they're clean. That only makes sense. Definitely hyped. The front half of the GTO, everything's out of there. The Accord, we are nearly at the same spot. We still have the subframes that are gonna come out for that subframe to go in there, but we're just moving right along. In the next video, I gotta figure out what I'm gonna cut. And if you guys are looking for some more updates, I'm always posting on IG. So if you have IG, I know you do. I'm posting in the stories pretty often, almost daily, and I'm just kind of showing you what's going on, and that'll give you information before the actual YouTube video comes out, because I film for a couple of days and then make one upload, as opposed to posting on my story. I post what actually is going on. So if you have that, check me out over there. In the next video, I'm not exactly sure what's going to happen, but I do know we're going to keep making progress, and eventually we're going to get the motor test fit. The LS is going to eventually be in the Accord. Old Betty White. Man, dude, this is crazy. I'm really enjoying myself on this. I hope you are as well, because normally I'm just sanding, bodywork, painting, masking, sanding, priming, painting. It gets a little bit repetitive. So it's really nice for me. Hopefully the content is switched up for you. Hopefully you're enjoying this series. So if you are enjoying it, give this video a like. Make sure you comment. I want to know what you think. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed by now. Do all the stuff. You know what it is, YouTube. I'll see you on the next one. I'm out.